back to the Smitty and D show. Of course, I am Tony D, and in the studio, we've got actually a friend that I've known for many years. And after this, I feel like I might have to hijack her and really be like a close real personal friend. But you guys, you may have seen her in Sweet 16 on MTV, as well as MTV Cribs and the Atlanta Exes. And in fact, you kind of know her ex pretty well. Welcome to the studio, my new close friend, Miss Christina Johnson.
Hi. Hey,
she's
girl.
in the building. I'm so excited to see you.
I'm so happy to see you.
With
you
this
look absolutely
beautiful
stunning.
red lip.
Thank you.
Man, she comes correct every time. I was like, man, Christina's coming. Let me get my life together.
I love it so much.
She is on point. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
How is it being without all the kids?
Girl. It's a new beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're all grown up now, and I'm waking up every day asking myself, what adventures do you want to have today?
Ooh.
Because I started so early having children.
Mm-hmm.
I was 16 when I got pregnant with my oldest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been taking care of, from my little brothers growing up to my children. I grew up with them. So this is a whole new dynamic. It's just me. I don't even know how to cook for one.
I don't know, but you look good.
Thank
sis.
you.
Hey, she said, I'm coming through. Prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it.
You're working on a few different things. You've got a new accessory line. Talk to us about that.
So I went to Ghana a couple of years ago with actress Brayley Evans. She was shooting a movie there. So she asked me to come along, and she took care of my trip. I went, and you're in the motherland, so you're thinking everybody's kind of going to be just dressed out, and it's home, right? But everybody kept stopping me like, Queen, oh, we love your style. We love this. We love that. I'm thinking, this is where it originated. And so as I was on set with them, the actresses kept saying, Erica Pinkett was like, you want to know where your millions are? It's in your accessories. Girl, everybody kept saying, like, you need your own line. And Brayley was like, Chris, you should do it.
Yeah.
So when I came home, I started thinking about like, okay, I'm seriously going to do this because it's so second nature to me. I mean, we met with the same wardrobe stylist. So, like we love clothes, jewelry, hair. I'm
trying to find jewelry now. That's the hardest thing. And I like unique pieces.
Right.
And it's very hard to find those
and
unique.
I'm such a, what do you call, like a costume jewelry girl, right? So I love drama. Yeah. Even when I was on, television, I always liked to have a piece of drama, even if everything else was like simple. Yeah. Right? So my line is really that: chokers, lip rings, 2-finger rings, feather ear cuffs. I mean, we got some really cool stuff.
I wouldn't mind being one of your ambassadors, child.
Okay, I would so be honored.
I would be playing. Listen, every day.
Okay,
I would be wearing your stuff.
Okay,
seriously.
No, we're gonna talk about it after.
I'm serious.
Yeah, this is gonna be so much fun for me.
I'm excited. Well, you're at the 50th chapter.
Come on.
Hey, she's 50, looking 30. How do you do this? How do you make 50 look so good?
Man, first of all,
no wrinkles. You don't have the little gobbler thing going on here.
Let me tell you something. I think in our 20s we worry about everything. Or we think about if we're gonna even make it to 50. I think back on being just a worrier, right? When I was young, like everything was just so different then, though. Now it has to be worse. A lot is going on in this world. But like now that I'm making 50, I'm like, you were worried for nothing. You were worried for nothing.
Tell them again. Can you tell those 20-year-olds?
Stop worrying. Everything's going to be just fine. And seriously, worry gives you a lot fine lines and wrinkles. And it makes you look older. And it makes you do things that aren't pleasing. Really, like, accept yourself and be in the moment. Because I lost a lot of time. I hate to say that because there are no mistakes. But I kind of feel like, we waste time on worrying about things that aren't even going to happen. They're not going to happen. 99% of the time, the things that you guys worry about the most isn't going to happen. So chill and enjoy every heartbeat. And heartbeats are very precious to me right now.
Let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
You had some scares recently with your heart. We even talked about it because I had some scares as well. What's going on?
So I went to get my yearly physical. That's another thing. Take care of your bodies. Go check on yourself. And my EKG was abnormal. So the doctor was like, your heart must have gotten damaged. I'm just going to send you to a, cardiologist. And I'm thinking, huh? It's the last thing I expected to hear. I just turned 50. No, I was just about to turn 50. So I was turning 50 on the 26th. This was the 3rd of April. And so I go to the cardiologist. They're telling me my main artery is dilated, so it's too big, which sometimes in some cases could become a aneurysm, right? Which is how my grandmother that I was named after, her name was Christine. I was named Christina after her, and she died at 37 from a heart aneurysm.
Whoa.
So think about like generationally, a lot of times, like if it's our parents' will think, will I survive? Will I live past my mom's age? And then as a grandchild of her, my mom's mom, I'm thinking, well, will I live, past 37? So a lot of times we can create things by our fears and the way that we think and how we speak on things. I've been very adamant, I've always been adamant on lifestyle, the way that I eat, fasting, and all of that good stuff, making sure that I'm taking care of my body. But in the back of my mind, you do have concerns based on your history, right? But just because it's hereditary doesn't mean it has to happen to you. It's like, how are you living? So let's talk about it. Physically, I was doing good. I've always been good with my eating. I'll get off track. I'll gain weight. I'll go back on a fast, cleanse, whatever, detox, and I'm back on it, right? But sometimes we don't deal with the emotional tie to everything. And I'm telling you, every illness has an emotional tie, right? So there's a book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise L. Hay. And she has every dis-ease you can think of in this book, right? And for instance, I had, what are they called? Fibroids, right? Fibroids, the emotional tie to fibroids is when you are holding on to a relationship that you've outgrown. Yeah. And a lot of Black women, we suffer from fibroids really bad.
We suffer from that. Both.
And the second emotional tie to fibroids is when you are creative and you're not able to be creative. You're not practicing. You're not using that gift. So when your creativity is stifled, you can also cause fibroids. So everything has an emotional tie. So with the heart, I think I've really been delving in since April, not only just ritual wise and, when I make up my mind to do something, like I've done 40-day, 40-night fast twice in my life where I didn't eat any food. I just had water. And then maybe a couple of weeks before I would start acclimating my body with green juices and stuff. So when I get my mind made up, I'm like, let's go. And with this, I've been doing that, like plant-based, really eating well, exercising, and going to my doctor's appointments, but also doing herbs and things that help me on the, I'm a natural girl. I love to use herbs and stuff. I'm not a big medicine girl, but I know if I have to do, Western medicine, I will.
Yeah. So you believe in a lot of like the doctrines of Dr. Sebi.
Dr. Sebi, and there's a new guy. His name is Yaki Awakened. He's amazing. If you could get him here, it would be amazing.
Shout out. What's his name?
Yaki Awakened. Okay. So, right, he was sick at 21, I think, very early 20s. He had a heart attack. He was doing drugs. He was drinking a lot of alcohol. He had a heart attack, almost had a stroke, and he had to heal himself. So he practiced Dr. Sebi's stuff, but he also started researching for himself. So he's like a new age Dr. Sebi. So he gives a lot of praise and honor to Dr. Sebi, but he is doing his thing. So like I'll use his herbs. I follow him because he's really, really good. Yeah. So yeah, I do a lot of stuff. Like I do meditation, I do hypnosis, I do energy work. I'm open. I was raised Christian, and I consider myself a Christian, but I think a lot of times we put God in a box. Yeah. He's so much bigger than what we've been taught. Yeah. Right? So I'm open to everything, right? Mm-hmm. How we're supposed to eat and how we're supposed to feel, and really just doing the work. Mm-hmm. So I get on my knees, I pray in the morning, I pray at night. I keep 2 journals. One I call a life journal. So that's what I put my what I've eaten today, what my blood pressure is, what I drank, and if I've had X amount of water, coconut water, and so I do that, and I started another journal, which is why I wanted to talk about the heart, because it's like you don't think about what caused the heart outside of the physical side of it, right? Because I feel like COVID may have had something to do with it, but I also feel like my heart has been broken, right? So over the years, even going through a divorce, that was a long time ago. That was the biggest heartbreak, right? And then I felt like I disappointed God because I left my covenant. I filed for divorce. I left my covenant. I dealt with that guilt of feeling like God is mad at me because I didn't make it work. Yeah. But then as I went on, and you surround yourself with people who don't love you for real, who don't really care. Yeah. And I'm a Taurus. We love hard and deep, and we're very, very loyal people. Mm-hmm. So when you have someone that hurts you or stabs you in the back, we're also very stubborn. So it's like, okay, cool, it's over. Mm-hmm. It's done. But you don't always deal with, did you grieve? Oh. Did you really take the time to examine your feelings about it? Or are you just going on? I'm going on to work. I'm still taking care of my kids. I still got this to do, that to do. Mm-hmm. But since this has happened with the diagnosis, I've been journaling about old losses, how they affected me, what it felt like at that time, and what it feels like now, if anything.
Let's talk about that. Okay. When it comes to old losses, I mean, you were married to CeeLo for a while. Mm-hmm. Talk about that. There's so many women, and I know on other podcasts, they always talk about how women are the first ones to file divorce. Mm-hmm. Why did you file for divorce? It's like 80 or 90% of all divorces are caused by women.
Didn't know that. Yeah. So I'm writing a book. Well, my book is done, right? So the publisher is going into editing in the next 30 days. So everything is in there, but just a quick, like, we were young. Yeah. We were very young, trying to love each other. When I met him, he was 22. And I didn't even believe him. I was like, let me see your ID. So we were trauma bonding. I grew up, my dad didn't want to have anything to do with me. My stepdad was abusive to my mother. I saw him cock a gun to my mom's head. She's begging for her life. We're begging for her life. I grew up around a lot of physical, emotional, and verbal abuse. So then you meet someone who also went through their own, getting picked at, getting teased, genius, but don't know how to handle it, they don't know what their gifts are. So we met each other, fell deeply in love with each other, and then tried to, we started a family together. I already had 2 children. He came in, to father my 2 kids, and we were just trying to make it on being lost, 2 lost grown-ups. We were grown-ups. And I think on the end of maturity, I had lived a lot more because I had kids very early. Yeah. So I had to grow up fast. I got kicked out at 16. I didn't have a place to go. And so just being pregnant and homeless, and then having to live with my best friend, who's now I consider my sister. Like, we're closer than blood, right? Who saw a lot of it and was there at my house to see a lot of the abuse and things of that nature. And so you come up mature, but you still have these triggers, right? So people come into your life to hit these triggers so that you can heal them. I tried to do as much of the healing within the marriage as I could. But when I saw, okay, this isn't healthy, I left. And so I filed for divorce, and we've been like working on for years, still being friends, still being family, still being cordial to one another, because we left each other in love.
Whoa.
And I had never seen that before. Like, I've seen people like, I can't wait, I hate you, I can't wait till this is over with, I can't wait to sign the papers. But we were like, oh. So we divorced and still was seeing each other for years after that. Right? So that was difficult, because it was like an emotional roller coaster. Like, I left, but I'm really not gone. He's like, yeah, we're divorced, but it's a continuum. So it was very confusing.
Yeah, and he's a genius, so I'm sure it's hard to even try to compare. Like, how do you compare that level of genius with other people out there? Like,
you don't. You just,
like, you're both unicorns. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
both
it's gonna be difficult for him to find someone, on that level, because like, you're a unicorn, and then he's, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's happily engaged now. I used to like host Christmas, Thanksgiving. They would come, the kids' birthdays, grandkids' birthdays, all of that. It stayed that way for a very long time. Now I'm in the chapter of my life where it's like the kids are grown, they can have their own relationship, and I just want to enjoy and live my life.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what you're good at. Now, I know you as a interior designer, fashionista, hair extraordinaire, like everything that's fashion or art driven is Christina Johnson.
I'm a creative.
You are.
To the bone.
All the way to the bone. And I think that's how we vibed. But talk to us about your new, I guess it's not really new, but you're an interior designer.
Yeah, I've been doing it for, over 20 years.
Whoa.
Yes, I've been doing it for a very long time. Ludacris was my very first paid client. Because at first I was doing everybody I know, if you pay for the stuff, I'll do your place. This is my way. I was self-taught. Yeah. And then I started hiring designers that were out of school to work for me. During the pandemic, or right before the pandemic, I met an awesome young lady from Baltimore, Maryland. Her name is Falia. Falia and I now have she's my design partner. We have a company called Design My Investment. So we work together, which has been awesome. Falia's like 35, 36. And so she's much younger, fresh, cool, wise beyond her years, super loyal, and super creative and super talented. So it's been fun to have a partner to work with.
Gotcha. To
share everything with. So we've been doing that since the pandemic. We've been working really hard. We just flew in late last night from New Orleans. Yeah, working on an NBA player actually there.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we do some really good jobs. We do everything, regular clients, regular people, athletes, musicians, whatever comes our way. But we absolutely get the most joy out of what we do. Creativity makes me happy.
Oh,
it does.
We need her to come by this place and check it and do something with this.
We got you.
Because I need the help.
We'll hook it up.
I certainly need the help. So you had 3 kids.
Yes.
2 girls, 2 boys.
1 boy.
1 boy. Let's talk about them.
Okay.
I think I met all of them actually. Yeah. Back when you were in the condo down off of Peachtree. But how are they?
They're doing great.
What are they doing? I know what one of them's doing.
Yeah, my oldest is in her Jesus year. She's 33.
Okay.
A lot of people know Sierra from My Super Sweet 16.
Yeah.
She's 33 now. She's going to kill me for saying her age. She's like, why every time you post our birthdays, you have to say our age? I'm like, because it ain't about you. It's about the fact that I look your age.
Oh!
And so I always tease them, I love my kids.
You have some amazing.
Girl.
I know one that's just like, I know you said he's got a was it a Grammy?
Yeah, at 19.
The other one, I want to say she's in. Doesn't she have a line that she's working on?
She
or something?
is, well, Sierra does music, so she is doing a new single, which I'm excited about because she has music in her. It's her gift, and so I love to see my children working in their area of gifting, right? And she's the oldest, so she's seen the most. She's been, because a lot of times we're growing up with our kids, they're seeing our traumas, they're seeing, because a lot of times you may unknowingly take your traumas out on your kids, be difficult, hard on them. And so she's seen a lot, but she's blossomed. She's been a flower. She's an Aquarius, honey. So she's a free bird. That's what I always say. You cannot cage an Aquarius. They are free birds. And so
Just sit and watch.
She's doing her own thing. She's modeling. She's a plus size model now. She's doing her music. She just did a fashion show that I went and vended. I was a vendor at her show.
What?
Yes, with my jewelry. My younger daughter is in school for engineering. I'm a grandma. I have 5 grandkids.
What?
Yes.
What?
My middle child, Kayla, is so intelligent and so beautiful. And she's talented too. She's more of the shy one. I think she's coming out of that. But she was like the quiet middle child. And then when my oldest was 10, I had Kingston. Lo and I had a son. And he is also a musician. His voice is girl, amazing. It's so good. And he does not. The first time I heard him sing, he was 19.
Whoa.
19.
Whoa.
I live in the same house. And I'm very much a go through your phone, what you got going on type of parent, and didn't even know.
Yeah.
He was like, I didn't really like my voice. So one day I went to a Christmas show that his dad was having. He told me that he was playing the bass and he sung background, and I was in shock. I couldn't even cry. My friend was next to me. She was crying. I was shocked. His voice was so beautiful. So now he's doing music. He loves rock, but he's also singing regular music. So it's good. And he's an engineer and he is a producer and he's great. With my kids, I feel like as long as you guys are in love with your life and doing what you love, I don't put pressure on them to go one way or another. Oh, you got to do TV, you got to do this. Some parents, I think we forget they come here to have their own journeys, right? Not ours. We want this. We expect that. I wasn't like that. One of them was like, I'm going straight to college. And I knew that's her thing. The other one, I was like, you might as well put cash in a trash bag and throw it in the dumpster. Okay? I'm not wasting my money. You're such a creative. She's not going to stay in school. Right? So I never put pressure on them as far as I wanted, of course, get your education or whatever, graduate. And then if you want to go to school, great. Kingston went and got his associates. He's going back to get his bachelor's. And he was one of those that was like, I don't want to go to school, doing engineering and stuff like that. So I don't put pressure on them. I always tell parents the greatest lesson you can teach your children is how to love through the way that you love in your relationships. And that's not just relationships with a significant other. That's also your parents, your friends. So I've always tried to live the example for my kids because I feel like girls, they're going to be who you are in a lot of ways. They're going to do what you do. So you have to be mindful of what you do and the example that you're setting because kids do what you do, not what you say always.
Ain't that the truth?
They do.
Quick question. What and how do you define happiness right now in this chapter of your life? What does that look like?
Peace.
What does peace look like?
And in the Bible, when it talks about the peace that surpasses all understanding, that's all I want to experience. That means no matter what comes your way, what adversity you're experiencing, what trials you're going through, what losses you may have or take, you can still find the good in it. And I think in my life, that's what I've done. It's like, what is this here to teach me? I know it's painful. I know it hurts. But what am I supposed to learn? Because what I don't want to do is keep going through the same things over and over and over. Right? I want to get the lesson. I remember Iyanla Van Zant had a book called In the Valley. And it just means you go up to get to the mountaintop. And if you don't get the lesson, you keep sliding down in the valley, right? But if you get the lesson, you climb that mountain. It doesn't mean there's not going to be eventually another valley. It may not be as low as the last one. But if you get the lessons, you don't have to keep repeating the same thing over and over and over, right? So I'm always asking God, when difficulty comes, what am I to learn from this? Because if I can get that, then I don't have to come back for this particular test because I've learned. Yeah. So I'm not going to do things the same. I'm not going to be the same. And as long as I'm elevating, I'm winning.
I know that's right.
Period.
What sort of things did you keep repeating?
Girl.
Like for me, it was the disease to please, child.
Yes, Lord.
That thing had me by chokehold. I was like,
yes.
The disease, when you turn about 42,
you stop caring. I remember at 40 saying, I'm not doing nothing else I don't want to do.
Yes.
If I don't feel like doing it, I'm not doing it. If I don't feel like going, I'm not going.
I literally lost probably half of my friends and clients because I was just like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that anymore. That working till what time?
Yeah.
6 hours? Oh.
No.
We're not doing that.
Yes. And that's where I am in this life. Yeah. Like, I don't want to do anything that I don't want to do because I feel like how you know that you are loving yourself is you don't betray yourself.
Ooh.
Right? So you're not doing anything against yourself that you know, oh, this feels horrible, but I'm going to do it anyway. This person's going to be mad at me, so I'm going to do it anyway. And I think for me, coming from my dad, my biological father didn't want me to have anything to do with me. He didn't claim me. I think I just wanted to be loved. So overdoing and people pleasing is the way you're the best daughter, sister, cousin, auntie, niece, friend.
Yeah. So
you overdo it. Like, you will set yourself on fire to keep other people warm repeatedly.
Amen.
No more.
No more.
Because if you're on fire, guess who's dying? Not the ones that are toasty.
Right.
No, not the ones you're keeping warm. You are killing yourself.
As a role model, because I like to call you, well, fashionista, but I feel like you have not really aged much, hardly ever since I've met you, and that's been quite some time ago. I feel like it's been well over at least 10 years since I met you. We got connected through our friend who passed away recently, and it was very difficult for me because I found out later.
Yes, you found out later, which I'm so sorry. I had no idea, but going through the journey with him took everything. So it was hard to remember who to call, who to talk to. Hearing him suffer the way that he did with the type of cancer that he had, cancer of the urethra, I think that's what it's called, like his bladder, was so hard to watch, so hard to hear. But so he would be in his room screaming out in pain, and I would be in the kitchen inside myself screaming out in pain. It was very difficult to see. And you just do everything. You give them everything they want to eat. You take them where they want to go. He might be like, okay, we're leaving a doctor's appointment. Let's go to City Trends and shop for glasses. Let's go.
I'm about to cry. I wasn't prepared for this.
To see him, being fully everywhere, taking care of himself, to being on a cane, being on a walker, being in a wheelchair, helping him with his IV and taking care of, things. It was very, very tough because this is someone I met. Maybe we had 6 good years, 7 maybe. And to see someone that you meet and it feels like, this is my brother. Like, we got so much in common. What's your dad's name? We would do that. Wait, what's your dad's name again? Because you might be my brother for real.
For real.
To being there to see, I wasn't there when he took his last breath, but I came right over after. Because during that time, it was the pandemic. You could only have 1 visitor a day. His other friend was there. She called and let me know he had just transitioned. And so I ran over there and seeing him in the bed, you know, it was tough. I was glad that he wasn't suffering anymore, but it hit me very hard. This is somebody you felt comfortable being nude around,
Exactly.
who dressed you,
Yeah.
who fussed at you, who,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to wear this. Bitch, you wearing it, you know? Come on, bitch. You know, you wearing, you know, I'm going to look like the president's wife, the first lady.
But you look good.
But I was always blocked, even when I felt I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's a good. I want to just expound on that sometimes. I think sometimes we have a hard time with being wrong. We always want to be right.
Do you think we want to be right as Black women, or people?
I know it's Black. I'm a Black woman. I'm around a lot of Black women. I know we do, right? It's hard for us to be like, you know what, you're right. I messed up. You know, you just rather be like, girl, because, I mean, I was thinking that, but because of this and this and this, and I've been that. We have, it's aging too, y'all. A lot of the worrying and talking and hiding and ducking and shame that we suffer, it does age you. I think it's okay to get to the point where it's okay to say, you know what, I messed up. I messed up, I fucked that up, and I'm wrong.
I had this interview with Evelyn Braxton, Tony Braxton's mom.
Yeah, she's a lovely lady.
I love her. And she said, Black women do not check each other. We do not. And I had to agree with her. We don't. Maybe the elders check the youth, but as far as, you know, us checking our friends, we do not. We are the cheerleaders of foolishness a lot. Yeah, girl, you should go down there and whoop her. If I'll come down there. Like, no, you don't need friends like that. You need friends to be like, listen, you got stuff to live for. You're going to go to jail.
And I think sometimes people have a difficult time telling people the truth because they're afraid that they won't be their friend anymore. They won't hang out with them anymore. They won't love them. It's still people pleasing. It still goes to the core of, I just want to be liked. I just want to be loved. Right? At this age in my life and all the experience that I've had and going through things with my friends, we don't have a choice. We are very much, I was on the phone today with a friend like, you don't have to like it, but I have to say it.
Ooh.
Right? Because I feel like I would be I'm not really a friend. I'm doing you a disservice if I okay your mistakes, your foolishness, your way of being. Right? So sometimes I have to say, you're not making the right choice. Or you're telling other people to do this, but you're not practicing what you preach. Right? And for me, if I'm going to follow you, then you better be a leader that lives what they talk about because I don't trust you. If you tell me one thing, but you're living something different, I'm not going to trust you. Right? Yeah. And I always hold myself to that standard. Yeah. Like, you talk a good game now, are you doing it? And sometimes even in blessing other people with wisdom and knowledge or understanding, it's like, are you taking that in for yourself? It's really easy for us to give advice. It's very hard for us to take our own, right? So you have to be mindful. Like, if I'm telling you this, I'm telling you, stay away from this dude. He ain't no good, but then I'm going right home to a no good dude. Yeah. Girl, what? Shut up. Like, don't tell me what to do because you're not doing it.
You're not doing it yourself.
Yes. So that's a big deal.
I love it. Tell me about a quote that you live by that just does it for you.
Ooh, I have a couple. The first one is I've learned to turn my pain into compassion. That's my own. Because of me growing up with such hardships and around so much abuse, a lot of times people become bitter because of the way that they're raised and the things that they lacked or didn't have. And I've learned that everything that I went through had a purpose, right? And it makes me compassionate towards other people because I know what it's like to suffer, to hurt, to be in pain, to be abandoned, to feel unloved, right? So I just have a heart for people. And so learning to turn your pain into compassion for me just means that I've taken everything that's happened to me in stride and I've turned it around for the good of many. Because every day that I'm able to pour into other people, whether it's using social media, this type of platform, that means that I didn't go through it for nothing. I came here for this.
Wow.
I came here for this. And I'm excited and I'm honored because I feel like God chose me. Like, I'm chosen to be here. I was able to withstand, even with the hard stuff. Like, I don't worry about that on a day-to-day. I live. I live. And I value, and I've always valued my heartbeats because I almost died from complication of Graves' disease once, right? It makes your heart rate so fast that you wake up and it's like you worked out. So sometimes, years later, after I survived, after the doctors told me I wouldn't survive, and I survived, sometimes I'll just rub my chest and just say thank you to my heart. Because you could have given out on me already. I used to love crab legs and fry this and cook that. Overcooked vegetables ain't a vitamin left. Okay? Just like everybody else, right? But my heart has withstand it all. So I'm grateful. And now that, I'm going through this temporary, because it is, thing with my heart, it just makes me appreciate it more, right? So gratitude. Another quote that I love is unforgiveness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Fool. You're going to die. You drunk the poison.
Right.
While you over here mad and stubborn and all this stuff, like, of course, some things don't work out. You have to really let people go sometimes, right? It's not throwing people away. Some people, you can forgive each other and move past it. Some people, if you see the core of them and it's rotten. You know what I mean? Or it's not true. It's not genuine. It's not loyal.
Yeah.
You can't put everything aside to be loyal. Then I can't do it. But I still forgive.
Yeah.
I ain't holding no animosity at all.
That part.
It makes me old and aged and bitter and ill.
Who's doing that today?
And nobody's doing
no
that,
one's
baby.
doing that.
Nobody's
Why are you single, my dear friend?
Okay, by choice.
Yes. Tell us why.
Okay, because I feel like there's an absolute perfect fit for me.
Yeah.
And until it is time and that person finds me, I will not settle, right? Not to have company, I love myself, right? I can provide all of my own needs. I can travel, I can eat well, I can provide whatever I need, I have, right? I live well. So, and I'm not just talking about monetary. I just mean I live well. I treat myself well. I give my body the things that it needs, and it provides the strength, the health that I need, right? So why would I settle for anything less than what the Most High would give me or what I would give myself? A lot of times we'll dumb ourselves down just to have somebody in our bed. I'm good. It's a lot of little toys that'll take care of that, baby. Okay? You want to take a few minutes to take care of that?
Okay, Lord Jesus. I got some few new ones too.
Okay, so yes, so growing up, around abuse, being abused, I've been, I was molested as a kid, right? So when I grow up around these things, I wasn't really the most huggy, kiss me on the lips, in the mouth type of girl. At 50, I want that. I want affection. I want to hold hands. I want to kiss. I want to hug. I want to be held. I want that. I know what I want. And until I receive what I want, I won't settle. So at night, I'll rock myself. I'll hold myself. Okay? And it doesn't mean that I don't,
batteries at?
And I guess because I'm so busy, I would date. It's just that I'm always moving.
Yeah, your life is full.
It's so full. So I really haven't been. I had someone I was dating for about 9 months. It didn't work out. Same thing. It just felt like the person was just as busy as me. And be mindful of what you ask for when you're when you're talking to God and you're like, I want my mate, make a list of what you want and be those things, right? But he was extremely busy like me, which is something I wanted. He was working in his area of gifting, which is something that I wanted, but he didn't have the time for me. I felt like I was begging for time, and I don't have to do that because I'm very busy too. And if I'm making the time, we both can make the time. So saying all that to say, I want the boxes to be checked, and I'm open. So everybody's not going to have everything. We're all here to learn, right? Which means we're imperfect, right? We're learning as we go. So when I say a perfect fit for me, I just mean he's going to be a perfect fit for me. He may not be perfect, but he'll be a perfect fit for me, meaning his triggers will come up and we can get past it. My triggers will come up, he can get past, we'll get past it. But I'm not going to settle for anything that doesn't feel good to my soul.
I was just talking to my friend Mesa last night, and I said to her, sometimes the perfect mate for you is you.
Yeah.
So like all this work that you're putting into another person, you could put that into
yourself.
Yeah.
And it's a process. Healing is a process.
It is.
And people think it's a destination. It's not. As soon as you get one thing healed, here come another trigger. You're like,
damn, where did that come from?
Yeah, you're like, well, I thought I was good. Yeah, you are. Be kind to yourself, y'all. Like, this is a process. It's a lifetime of work, whatever that lifetime is. I don't know. You know what I mean? But enjoy yourself, right? Be kind to yourself. Know that it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be upset, angry, but don't hold on to it. That's the thing that makes you sick. I feel like the emotional tie to cancer is holding on to all the things that has hurt you, the unforgiveness of other people, the expectations that you had that wasn't God's. First of all, that's what I was saying about the kids. You're mad at them because they're not meeting your expectations. Well, what about God's? Yeah. Maybe they didn't come here to live the life you dreamed for them. Maybe they came here to live something different, right? So give them a break. Give yourself a break. Because a lot of times when we're hard on other people, we're even harder on ourselves. And it is...
You would never treat someone else like that. We treat ourselves
worst. Every little nitpicky little thing.
Absolutely the worst.
And I think that's one of the things I love about myself is just that
you
I
give
don't
yourself
care.
Grace. Yeah.
I'm going to be me. I don't care what other people think. I have to feel good.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that depend on me. So I want to feel good. I want to feel upbeat. I want to live in my greatness. I want to be grateful. Because I know that when I'm feeling good, I make other people feel good.
What advice do you have for women that are dating out here? Black women are dating. They're hearing the statistics. They're looking at all these videos about black men don't want you.
Yeah.
That you're too manly.
To me, all that is bullshit. This is the thing. It is what you say it is. If I say, girl, I'm tired, I'm going to always be tired, always look broke down. If I say, girl, I'm broke, I'm going to stay broke. The true definition of faith is to see those things that are not as though they were. Even if it wasn't my reality, I'm speaking it, right? So if you say there's no men out there, guess what, baby? Even if they out there, you ain't about to get one. Because for you, what's showing up is what you're saying. So I'm very much, it is what I say it is. There's always men. I've never had a problem finding a man. I don't care how many are in jail, how many are gay. I don't care. That doesn't pertain to me. What I need, when I need it, shows up. And even if it's temporary, and that's okay. Everybody comes with these dope-ass lessons. So I was sitting under Jael the Great. She has this great Sunday thing that she does in Piedmont Park once a month, right? And she was saying that if we looked at everybody like a teacher, instead of putting these titles, oh, he my man, he my husband, he my boyfriend, he's my cousin, he's my nephew. If you looked at him like he's coming to teach me something, the whole dynamic of the relationship would be different. Because now I'm looking at you like you're special to me at this time. I don't know. This could be for a lifetime. But if not, when they walk away, I'm also walking away with something great.
Yeah. What lessons did you learn?
And that's why I always ask, what am I to learn from this? Because if I'm leaving, I'm not going to, oh my God, crying and tears and snot and I'm not doing that. I'm going to be like, you taught me that I shouldn't be a runner. Because running makes a person not trust you. Where you feel like it's protecting you, you're not guarding your heart, as the Bible says, you're blocking it. So love can't come in or get out, right? So take the block off. Guard means I can let good stuff in, I can let bad stuff out, right? So everything is happening for me. So this person is coming into my life. You taught me these great lessons about myself. Maybe I lean too much into the negative. So you need to be more positive. So I'm taking these lessons with me to be better for the next guy.
That's good.
Nothing is for nothing. And it is what you say it is. So be mindful of your tongue. The Bible says that, y'all, this is not just cliche. Life and death lies in the power of your tongue. What you talking about? What are you speaking over yourself? Like, be real. We're so used to saying things day to day, we don't even hear ourselves anymore. It's so second nature. I was a very, girl, I'm tired type of girl. I'm always tired. Somebody's asking me to do something, I can't even pick up and do it because I'm tired. So I stopped saying it. I pull from a reservoir that never runs dry. I have lots of energy, period. Find something else. I call it pivoting. It's like dancing. We're going this way. Now we got to switch up and go this way. If you find yourself in this, I'm always saying the same negative things, then switch it up and turn it around.
I love it. I love the fact that you said one of my favorite things. It's not what's happening to you, it's what's happening for you.
And that's why I don't like all these old school raggedy ass quotes, because people always say, girl, it ain't happening to you, it's happening for you. Honey, I feel it. It hurts. It's happening to me. And it could be happening for me, but right now it's happening to me, and the shit is hard.
Yeah.
So be mindful even with that. Yeah. We say these quotes that are so whack.
Yeah, and that was my favorite too. She's like, it's whack. I love that one. It's whack. But Miss Christina Johnson, are you ready? You might need some water.
Okay. Girl, a woman of a particular age, we get hot.
Listen, I was going to ask you that, but I was like, should I go there? I'm going to ask it. What's happening to you when you turn 50? Do they tell you? Is there a class that we need to have?
Yes.
About what
That's
to
why
expect?
The aunties is so important, because you got to keep it 100 with these young people. Like, my mom always used to be like, girl, when you get these hot flashes. And I used to say, well, how am I as a young person, I thought, I'm going to get hot flashes. I already accepted that they were coming. Every woman don't get hot flashes.
I did,
but
though.
Because she spoke it over me and I received it.
Yeah.
It is what you say it is. It is what you think it is. Yeah. It is what you think it's going to be if you keep repeatedly hearing it and if you accept it as your own. Now I'm getting hot flashes and they suck. I've been getting them since I was 30 because I had to have a hysterectomy early.
Same. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I had
30
one in like
something.
22.
Really?
Yes.
And girl, because of that, they came like a flood.
Yeah. And now you're getting them now more. Wow.
Well, depending upon my diet, what I'm eating, I eat pretty good, but like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you about to turn up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you ready for my favorite part of the show?
I am.
Christina, are you ready for random questions? Where is Nikki? She's supposed to be my backup. All right. Nothing to be scared of. Okay. So the rules are you answer them quickly, and if you have a funny story,
tell it really quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this part of your life, if you were to name it a chapter or call it a chapter, what would you call this chapter of your life?
Ooh. Can I use the initials? Because IDGAF. It came in like a flood when I turned 50. It was like, I don't care anymore.
Wow.
All that stuff that I used to worry and stress and give a fuck about, I don't care.
Yes.
I don't. You don't like it? I'm sorry, honey. But this is what it is. This is who I am. I don't care. So that's my motto these days.
I love it. All right. So what trend do you want to change, or what trend do you want to see go away?
Don't be mad at me, ladies. I don't like lace wigs. I've never liked them. And I know that we've dealt with, not having edges and stuff like that before, but sometimes when you see the result of it, it's not worth it. And it doesn't always look good. It might look good that first day. It's almost like, ooh, it look like it grew out your scalp. But after you go to sleep,
and that shit
wake
shifts.
up, and then it's like coming up a little bit. And then when you put all that makeup on it, to each its own, and I'm not a judgmental person. That's the one thing that I wouldn't do.
I think that when it goes away, it's going to be so obvious. And people are going to be so mad that they wore them.
Yeah,
like, I'm telling
you ain't going to be able to get cornrows no more.
I'm telling you, you're going to see your pictures. You're going to be like, I was really walking around here with all this baby hair.
And
and lace.
Okay, so the baby hair, that's another thing.
And the fabric just sitting on your forehead.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And how hygienic is that? Because I used to wash those things, and I'm telling you, if I was a dude, I would never.
So I be wondering that. So
I would never.
If you having moment, y'all like getting it in, and it get hot and sweaty, and it start like lifting up and stuff, and then if it slips back or something, and you ain't got no hair back on the side,
what you gonna do?
I would be freaked out because one time, let me tell you a funny story. This happened to me for real. It might be why I don't like lace wigs. But I was, getting it in with somebody, younger guy. It was fun. And I had a quick weave, and it was glued. But the top part came off like a flip top head. But it came off. Like, it wouldn't stick back. I kept trying it because I was on top, and I kept trying to put it back and hold it. You ever tried to ride something holding on with no hands? That's the real no hands. That was horrible.
What did you do?
I just told him, like, he was like, it won't go back on. No. And I was devastated. I was so embarrassed. I was like, the hell. And that was a quick weave. That's when they used to like put this like thing on there.
Yep.
Like a stocking cap or something, and glue it onto the flip top head. Like, it looks so crazy.
That reminded me of one time one of my staff members walking on a block under a tree, and we're walking, and that branch caught her wig and did that hula, and she kept walking. It was like,
and the wig was totally
gone. The wig was still on the tree. Was on the tree. I was like, ain't no way,
girl. Ain't no way. I would have lost my mind.
All right, what's your karaoke song to go to?
Girl, Brick House.
What?
It's been my same karaoke song for years because first of all, everybody knows I'm thick. I'm losing.
She a little thick, y'all.
I'm losing thick a little
anymore.
bit because I'm plant-based and I'm taking such great care of myself. Yeah. But honey, when I tell you, I've been a thick girl. I've been on a red carpet 100 and something pounds or 200 and something pounds. Yeah. Easy. That's why it's important for you to love yourself. I'm rocking it either way. I rock the weight or not. But Brick House, just for one, you don't have to be able to sing for real. My kids are singers. Their dad is a singer. But girl, I'm not it. So Brick House is fun. It's cute. It was relevant to my size. And you didn't have to be able to sing. So that's my thing.
What feature do you love about yourself? Physical feature.
Oh, physical. My lips. Let me tell you. Because growing up, I felt like God cursed me.
I feel like that's my favorite part of you too.
Really?
Like, I literally was just like, this lipstick.
I
was like, can she do a makeup commercial?
Okay. So I would be walking down the hall in middle school. They would be like, big lips. Like, I got teased so much for my lips. Y'all, the thing that you got teased about the most, it ends up being your hottest freaking commodity, right? So I just thought, God, well, I used to ask him almost every day, like, why did you curse me with these big lips? Like, they're bigger than my face. So you can imagine, like, being young and having them. And I've embraced so many little silly things that I just thought were the worst. I'm just like, I'm so uniquely beautiful. Right? So oddly beautiful. Maybe not what the industry standard would consider, but I'm telling you guys, beauty comes from the inside. And when you lit on the inside.
That part. I was staring at you. I was like, she is
It comes
so
out.
pretty.
Thank you. It comes
That's
out.
the weirdest thing. Like, I was like, hopefully she don't see me staring, but I love beautiful things. I am that kind
I'm
of
like
person.
that too. I love
It
to
could be-
make things beautiful.
That too. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that good?
Hair, makeup, I love
Yeah.
that too. But I was just saying, I was like, man, these features, they're giving me life.
And they're so like the high cheekbones or the wide nose, all that stuff y'all embrace. It's so good. Big forehead. I love it all.
I used to get teased about my lips, but not in high school or it was at work.
Really?
From men.
What?
They would be like, man, your lips look like you could suck. And I'd be like,
DSLs. They call them DSLs.
oh, is that what they call?
You got them DSLs on it.
And now I'm like, what?
Girl. And yes, they work.
And they work.
But you're only getting them if you the one.
If you're the one.
Okay.
Who's your favorite comedian?
Girl, Mike Epps.
Why?
Cat Williams. Mike Epps is so relatable.
Because I love him.
First of all, he funny as shit.
He is.
And he's so relatable. I remember him telling this joke about so girls with their moms and how they go back and forth, and you'll knock them between the washer and dryer, like, because they be smart at the mouth at a certain age, and they finding themselves, and y'all going at it. Like, he's so funny to me and so relatable to me. Cat Williams the same. I just watched that Kevin Hart special, the new one. That shit's good.
Yeah.
I like Kelly Kells.
Kelly Kells is probably one of my favorite female
She's
comedians.
so. I'm gonna tell you why I love her.
Favorite. Kelly, you hear me?
She's dope. Same thing. I love people that are relatable, who
And
are real.
Yeah. Energy.
She don't give a damn. She's dope.
But she also gives the good energy. Like,
Yes.
she's on a different level.
She is.
Like, she gonna be so big. Like, I can't wait.
I fuck with Kelly.
Yeah, I love her.
I think she's dope. I met her through Brayley, because one of our friends, Chef Tregay, she was getting married, and me and her other bridesmaids were throwing her a shower, and Brayley was going to be the host. And she couldn't because she had to pick up a job. You know, she acts, so sometimes they call, she has to go. She called Kelly Kells to come, and her husband always comes. He's her.
Oh, yeah, we love her husband.
Love them.
He about to be my manager. I know that.
He's dope.
And security.
And so they came, and she rocked it, and she's just so, she gonna be my kid's auntie. Like, she's like that.
She gonna be everybody's auntie.
Right? So.
And she's an educator.
She's dope.
She's amazing.
I do love her. So, yeah, I would say those guys are just super funny to me. Like, the other night I watched Kevin Hart's new special, and I laughed and laughed and laughed. It's really good.
You see Marlon's?
No.
Marlon has a new one, and he's talking about the whole Jada and Will and Chris.
Send it to me.
Is it on Netflix or HBO? But it's
let me know.
it's funnier than Chris Rock's.
Really?
It is. And everybody who I send it to, they all say, like, man, this was funnier.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like God is watching. I don't know.
I'm going to look it up tonight.
But
I'm going to watch it tonight.
It's so good.
That's one thing about me a lot of people don't know. I feel like a lot of people around me always tell me I'm funny, but I love to laugh.
Yeah.
I think that when people ask me out, because people always say, what? Because my grandson is like, he's almost taller than my son, and my son is tall. And they're both over 6 feet tall.
Wow.
And so we were at the beauty supply the other day, and the Asian lady was like, this your mother? And he said, no, it's my grandma. And she was like, no. She was like, you're his grandma? No, that's not true. I was like, yeah, it's true. So when people say, what's your, how do you stay so young? I always say water, moisturizer, and a lot of laughter.
Aww.
I think laughter it's cliche, but it's the best medicine. It heals.
Yeah.
It heals. So when you're in a bad spot, you're not feeling good, you're down, instead of putting on sad music that's going to keep you down, put on something funny and laugh like hell.
I'm telling you, it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
It's a good thing.
That reminds me of a story. I met this Russian lady doing my nails in Florida. She said she came here to the United States, and she was looking at everybody. And she just said maybe around year 1 or 2, she realized, hey, I met these black people, but I've never met an old black person. And so she was just like, where are the old black people? Where did they go? And then finally she realized after doing nails that black people don't age. And she was just like, wait, what? She said, I did these ladies thinking they were 30, 40 younger than me, and they ended up being my older.
And that's how it always is when I go to the nail place. And I'm telling you, if I'm with my kids, they'll be like, Mom.
Yeah.
My kids will be like, Mom, can I get my because I'll still be like, let's go get our feet and that, stuff done. And they'll be like, it's no way that's your mom.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about best friends, because I know you spoke a little bit about it. Who are your best friends? Why? And what do they What do they bring to the table? What do you appreciate about them?
So I have to be honest. I don't use the term best friend anymore. Just because of the heartbreak and the loss. Yeah. So the closest people to me, my sister Michelle, who I grew up with, who I told you at the time was my best friend in the 6th grade. And then we're closer than blood now. Because she was with me my whole childhood. She saw all the abuse and stuff. So Michelle, I have Chef Tergay, Brayley Evans, Felia Carter, who's my business partner. We've become like super tight. My friend Christy, who also, I have a good solid circle.
And what do they bring to you? What is it that you appreciate about?
Honesty and wisdom. I love the fact that they're honest with me, that they love me through my stuff. I always apologize to my kids. I always apologize to my friends ahead of time. Let me tell you why. Even in giving advice or giving your opinion, I always tell people everybody's opinion puts you further and further away from your own truth. So don't ask everybody for their opinion about something. You make a decision, girl, I think I'm going to leave him. What you think? Do you hang up with them and call the next person and the next person and the next? It keeps putting you further and further away from what your soul had already told you. It's a wrap. Or it's not. Stay there and stop telling everybody. So then now they're hating him and you good. But they're like, but you told me this, and this, right? So I think what I love so much about my friends is their honesty with me about my choices, the decisions that I make, their willingness to allow me to be honest with them, their willingness to have the hard conversations, because it's not easy to tell a person things that they don't want to hear. And people aren't always good at receiving it. So we can have the hard conversation. We may not see eye to eye. We take a break from each other and then we come back and like, you were right. I should have done this or that, or I need to change this about myself. Because honestly, I'm not going to give you any advice that's not going to make you better. I'm here for you. Even if you're with somebody that I think he ain't it, I'm going to ride with you through it. Because let me tell you why. Every person, again, comes into your life as a teacher.
Lesson, yeah.
So while you're getting the lesson, what I look like to be like, well, if you talk to him, don't talk to me.
Because you don't know what they need.
You trying to block their like this man is coming in here to turn her whole entire life around in the best way. And it may not be because she was with him, but because of somebody she met while she was with him. Something she said to him that after he left, he told someone else, you need to call this person and change the life of this person. You don't know why this person is here, right? So I can't just start judging the person that you're with based on, and a lot of times it's because of the shit that we've been through and going through. And the pain and hurts that we've had. Again, putting our traumas off on other people. It's not fair. Right?
That's scary.
So with our friendship, I think the thing that I love the most is the genuineness, the honesty, the ability to have the hard conversations. And we just have interests. We like to travel. We like to eat good food. I'm a tourist. I'm a foodie.
Baby.
Not only do I eat good food, I cook good food, right? And they love to eat my food. Like, we hang out. We love each other. We walk through each other's stuff. And we have each other's backs, right? So those are, I hope this is scary because they're gonna be like, oh, I ain't
call me.
But see, again, that's why I love my friends, because they know, like, y'all know Christina memory is special. It's beautiful. It's lovely, you guys.
So to all the friends that she might have missed,
y'all know I love you. I love you so much. So yeah, Aisha and look, Aisha. Aisha, I love you. She just had my god baby. Like, it's just so many beautiful things. I think that's such an honor for someone to have a child and say, in the event, God forbid, anything happens to me, I trust that you will raise this child for me. I have a friend named Lucky in Tennessee who's also a designer. And just having like-minded people in your life is dope as shit.
My friends are smart enough to never make me anybody's godmother because I barely wouldn't. I'm not. I don't want pets. I had one child, and that is it. This is my second to last.
Lovely
question.
Daughter.
And shout out to, before I end, shout out to your daughter, because I had heard something really wonderful about her.
Aww.
About her being a full-figured model and her career blowing up before. And I think I actually called you and was like, I want you on the show.
Yes.
But it was because I heard about your daughter.
Aww.
So she's doing something right. And she gave me such good sound advice when it came to my daughter when I was going on that show. I don't know if you remember, but I spoke to her about her experiences with these different shows.
Yes.
Celebrity is, that whole thing, because I was like, do I really want this? Do I want this for my baby? Do I want to protect her? And she gave me the real deal, so shout out.
Come on, see?
Sarah, she looked out for me. I appreciate you. Okay, so this is the second to last. Right now, there's a decline in religion.
Okay.
With, I would say, Generation Z and millennials. What sort of things would you tell Generation Z to do if they want to get connected back to source?
So all the things that I mentioned that I'm using as healing modalities, like meditation, I do meditation every day because I feel like prayer is when we're talking to God. We're talking, asking, begging. Meditation is when you can hear from him. That's when he has the opportunity in his small, still voice to speak to you. Meditation is paramount, right? I think that doing research about religion is important. Like, find out where this stuff started, what it means to you. I feel like spirituality, it hits you in your soul. That's not something that can be taught or given. It's something you have within you. So in order to connect, for me, the way that I eat even connects me to source if I'm not eating. Fasting is such a big deal for me because I feel like I can hear straight from source when I am clear. My body's not digesting a ton of stuff, right? I haven't had meat since last year. I've been vegetarian for like 5 years at a time, vegan for 2 years at a time. But going without all the hybrid foods, heavy meats, and all this stuff, it gives your body, one, a chance to heal itself, but it connects you to source, right? So I'm big on meditation, big on eating well, big on hydrating myself, big on researching. That's a big deal. Because growing up in the church, a lot of stuff that was instilled, I know in me as a Christian, was fear. Everything. You're going to hell if you do this. Yeah. You drink a glass of wine, you're going to hell. You use a cuss word, you're going to hell. Cursing is putting a spell on somebody. Profanity is a different thing, right? Yeah. So I think it's important for us to get back to those divine connections through whatever works for you. Some people, it's yoga. Some people, it's meditation. Some people, it's affirmation, their belief system. I believe in rewiring our brain. I think as soon as we come here, even before, we're already being conditioned. You're a girl, you're supposed to wear yellow, pink, light greens, and boy, if you're a boy, you don't wear pink. You don't do this. We're being conditioned. Your name means this, so you're supposed to be this way. All my family went to college, so you got to go to college. Like, all that conditioning that could have absolutely nothing to do with why you are here. Get back to the core of who you are. by being mindful of what you're putting in and on your body. Research. And a lot of it comes from just loving you. Like I said before, a lot of times we're not loving ourselves. We're betraying ourselves by doing what feels good to others and not truly to us. Right? So be kind to yourself and figure out who you really are at the core. That's God. Yeah. He dwells within us. It's just about getting to the core of who you really are and not allowing other people to tell you that.
I love it. Last question. I ask this to everyone.
Okay.
It's the end. You're going to heaven if that's what you believe. What do you hope God says to you?
Well done. Man, let me tell you something. Going through so much adversity in life, you want to feel like it wasn't for nothing, right? You want to feel like you get to him and he says, you did great. you kicked butt. Like, I sent you down there. I know. He knows what we're going to go through, what we've been through, how we handle it. A lot of times I think, too, my issue was because I grew up in the church, I didn't want to disappoint God. So any decision I made, I would crucify myself for. Like, even to recent. Like, just, I don't want to disappoint God. I want to make it in. I want to make sure I'm doing this, that, and the third. It's like, how can he be disappointed in a being that he created? Do you think he didn't know you were going to come here and get caught up in this, that, and the third? Do you think he didn't know what decisions you were going to make? Stop dragging yourself based on the religious things that you've been taught. Just always do your best. That's one of the 4 agreements. And it's true. How's somebody gonna knock you at your best, Tony? It's your absolute best. How you gonna knock me at my best? My best may not, your best may be better than my best, but this is my best. You can't knock me at my best if I'm doing my best.
You think you've been doing your best?
Absolutely. Because I lead with love. How you wrong on that?
How you gonna be wrong? All right, my love. Tell them where they can find you and your brands.
Okay, you guys. So my jewelry line is about to launch. It hasn't launched yet. So it's going to be Jameela, Jameela, Jahari, JAHARI.com. On Instagram, it's Jameela Jahari _. On Instagram, my personal page is Christina Johnson _. On Facebook, Christina Johnson. On Twitter, Inner Peace, PIECE. My design company is designmyinvestment.com, or go to designmyinvestment on Instagram. And yeah, ChristinaSJohnson.com is my site. You can find everything on there.
Love it.
Yay.
She's so talented. Don't you just love her? Like, she's amazing.
Thank you, Tony.
She's amazing.
I love you.
I love you more.
Thank you for having me, too. This has been awesome.
You know you're my favorite kind of person.
Aww.
Seriously.
Y'all, we about to be traveling the world together, so don't trip.
We might have to have another show called Traveling or something.
Okay. That'd be dope.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact, Christina, before I end, I love that you have always been the same person. I love that you've always been creative, but you've always been a supporter of light. Does that make sense? So I knew I could never bring some foolishness to you because you were always on a different frequency.
Wow.
And I always pray for the opportunity to be able to work with you on that particular frequency, and I think we were able to do that today, so I'm excited. So
I'm really happy, and I know Taiwan is here and like in the midst of all of this, because that's how we met, you guys.
Yeah, that is. Shout out to Taiwan. We lost.
Heaven's Game.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Heaven's Game.
But I do feel like you are in my closet telling me what to.
Me too.
Like, don't
every time I do a photo shoot, I'm almost in tears.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to his presence there. But he always lets me know whether it's a song. I mean, to the point where I was trying on something at Avna, this designer's house, and the mirrors that I was looking in belonged to him. And I had felt his presence. So when she said, these are the mirrors from his house, and I said, oh my God. I knew it. I felt him. Oh my God. Yeah, so I believe there's life after this, you guys.
Yes.
It's never leaving. It's just transitioning.
I love it. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us, guys. Thank you again, Miss Christina Johnson.
You're welcome.
For coming through. I love you so very much.
I love you too.
So, guys, if you want to be part of this crew, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and comment. And if you want to get in contact with us directly, you can reach out to us at info@smittynd.com. Again, that's info@smittynd.com. And until next time, guys, take care of one another.